Hello, my friend. This is Emmy van Deurzen speaking. You asked me to tell you what guilt is. Well, here's a quick reminder. You can find out about this by reading the work of Rollo May, who has spoken about it a lot, and many other existential philosophers have written about it too. So they distinguish usually three different forms of guilt. So the first form of guilt is normal guilt. Now, normal guilt is that pricking of your conscience when you know you've done something wrong. So you know that it is wrong for you to, for instance, neglect to pick up your child from school, and when you realize you've done that, you feel guilty. That's quite normal. The guilt tells you that you've fallen short of a standard that you've set for yourself and that society has set for you as well, and you feel bad about it. And the bad feeling helps you to get it right next time. So the guilt is extremely useful. It's an emotion that gives you a sense something is wrong, you need to correct it, and next time you need to be more careful. That's normal, ordinary guilt. And of course, you can feel guilty about very small things like not writing a letter or an email to somebody, or very big things like neglecting your child, as I just said, or even bigger things, killing somebody. But in all those cases, it's still normal guilt if it is proportionate to the misdeed you've done, and it helps you reflect on this, and it helps you understand what went wrong and getting it better next time. Secondly, there's neurotic guilt. Now, neurotic guilt is the kind of guilt you feel, and it feels exactly the same as the guilt you feel in normal guilt, same pricking of your conscience. It's the kind of guilt you feel in relation to something that you have been told is dangerous and bad, but isn't actually that dangerous or that bad. So it's typically something your parents have warned you about excessively, all the time, repeatedly, and that has created such a anxiety in you about it that the moment you get anywhere near doing this thing, you'll feel terrible, even though you haven't done anything wrong. So some children might be told so often that they can't eat any sugar at all, they can't have any sweets at all, that when they go to a party and they are offered a sweet, they may go into a kind of panic attack because they feel this neurotic guilt. There is something terribly wrong, even though it isn't really that bad. So, neurotic guilt is a guilt about something you haven't actually done wrong, but you fear is a mistake, and therefore you get exactly the same response as in normal guilt. Then, thirdly, there's existential guilt. Now, existential guilt, I think, is in many ways the most interesting of the three, because existential guilt is again that same kind of uneasy feeling in your conscience, telling you that you haven't done something. So instead of it being about something you have done wrong, it is about something you haven't done right. It is about something you haven't done yet. It is as if you owe a debt to life. You owe a debt to yourself. You owe a debt to other people. You owe a debt and you haven't found the courage to pay it off. So it is about missed possibilities and opportunities. It is about you knowing that you are capable of doing certain things, of challenging yourself, for instance, of contributing more to society or doing good things for mankind, and instead you're sitting at home doing nothing at all, or just meditating on how you should really be doing more of these things. Well, this kind of feeling of I should have and I ought to, but I'm not going to, is existential guilt. So again, it's extremely useful feeling, which makes you have to pay attention to the possibilities not yet accomplished, completed, not yet taken up. And it tells you about an effort that you might make in order to lessen this guilt, and it will set you straight about what you want your life to be. It will help you understand the things that you really feel you want to have done before you die. So again, the third guilt, the existential guilt, is a most useful feeling. All three forms of guilt are extremely instructive. And if you're lost with your guilt, any psychotherapist of any kind of existential persuasion will be able to help you pinpoint what these guilts are about, whether they're normal, neurotic, or existential, and help you get the message and help you make some small corrections so that from the guilt you go on the path towards the value, either the value that you have betrayed in normal guilt, or the value that you imagine you have betrayed but actually you can let go of, or a value that you have blinded yourself to that you really want to open your eyes to. So use your guilt to open your eyes, not to make yourself feel guilty and bad and stay going round and round in that bad feeling, but rather to use that special tingling of your conscience to come to some greater awareness of what has gone wrong or what has not yet gone right. And make sure that next time you get it more right, and then you'll feel great. So good luck to you and your feelings of guilt. They are not as bad as you think. Like every other feeling, they're your friend. Befriend them, understand them, and set your life on the right track. All the best.